North Adelaide?
I'll have a look. Yeah, North Adelaide, right.
Playing for Ross Trevor as well, though.
Oh yeah. Played one game for North Adelaide Reserves. Played.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Caterer Oval at St Peter's College here. I'm Beck Northcott. I'm here with Jad Gossen this afternoon. We are covering the Division 1 clash between St Peter's and Payneham on a bit of a blustery afternoon here at St Peter's. Welcome, Jad.
Yes, very happy to be here. Very interesting game we got coming up. Of course, 10th versus 4th, but St Peter's, we know they can beat anyone on their day as well as Payneham. You know, they've beaten some big teams, lost to some teams they probably should be beating. So definitely still an interesting match, and one that has both ramifications coming up for the end of the season in terms of finals and the relegation. Yeah,
absolutely. I think two teams for me that you just don't really know what they're going to deliver on any given day. You know, Payneham, while technically in the 5, I'm just not really convinced about them at the moment. They've been a bit up and down, and yes, St Peter's on any given day they seem to just be able to pull out these random wins, such as their one against Port District.
That's right. Players in the middle, everyone's ready to go. We saw both teams warming up. They all looked fired up and ready for some action here. Bit of a cold day. The rain has stayed away so far. We probably are expecting it later, but yeah, at the moment it hasn't rained. The ground is still a bit wet from all the rains overnight, so we'll see how that plays into the match as we are underway here at Caterer Oval for round 13, Adelaide Footy League Div 1. A quick clearance, looking for a mark. Probably should have marked it. They had 2 hands on it, but it's going to be play on as St Peter's now look to go the other way, and it's a big tackle for the first stoppage and early stoppage in this one. Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing how St Peter's go. Of course, missing their captain Edward Allen, as well as Johnny Vrodos, one of their better players, I'd say. So
one of the Adelaide Footy League commentators' favourites,
yes,
I think.
Yes, the Adonis is what our good friend Tommy Jewell calls him on Between the Post show. So yeah, we'll see how they go. Sometimes when you got your big players out, the rest of them realise they have to stand up and they really push and raise their own levels. So we'll see what happens as they play on the far side. Big tackle again. It's going to be a bowl up.
Well, we saw a close game in the reserves beforehand. Payneham getting up by just 1 point over Spock, who were putting in a bit of a spirited comeback towards the end of the game. They just couldn't get that final point. And Spock looked to go forward for their first inside 50. Still just keep pushing there. Held off it there, I believe was McGill, but it actually went the other way for holding the ball. So ball with Payneham now, going long down that wing, 1-on-1. It was won by Facey, stood up nice and tall for Spock. So have a quick look now for that short 45 kick. Might be seeing a lot of low and slow play today in these conditions. Another little chip kick goes into Allen. We may not have Ed Allen, but there's still plenty of Allen options here with Charlie rolling with the long sleeves today. He goes long, looking for something inside 50. 200 gamer today in Lockwood. Couldn't quite get it into his hands, and we'll have a ball up just outside the Spock 50. So no lot to speak of so far, Jad.
Yeah, both teams just feeling each other out, and a bit of an arm wrestle early, but yeah, Lockwood 200 games, you see even the ruck there. Good effort to get to 200 at any level, let alone Adelaide Footy League Div 1 or similar level for St Peter's. So yeah, very well done for him. And yeah, another stoppage now in the same exact spot as we have a bit of a repeat. Have a look out for the defence of St Peter's. They've been better since Reed's gone back there. We'll see where he starts and where he finishes, but a very handy player, can swing both ways in terms of defence or forward. Playing on that far wing now again, bit of congestion early, both teams not wanting to concede the first inside 50 almost. That's how all the games have been played in the midfield area on the pitch here. Not too much mud on the ground, pretty impressed with that. I've definitely been to worse in the last few weeks with all the rain. So yeah,
to Brighton.
Yeah, that's exactly where I went, to Brighton. The forward 50 now comes, one-on-one deep. No real winner from that one, but good second efforts trying to get the ball out. Trying to find a bit of room for the snap kickers. St. Peter's finding it towards McGill. McGill's tackled a little bit high, but it's going to be fairly taken. A ball up now about 25 metres from the goal. Look out there for Ben McGill with the helmet, always a tricky little player. Always up, down and under, finding room. Here's a snap with the left. High kick. Looking for a mark in the goal square. Holding him. It's going to be a free kick. Going the way of St. Peter's, so right on the edge of the goal square. It's going to be a free kick going the way of the St. Peter's attacker there. In number 5, Nick McGill. So one of the vice captains here today, 2 vice captains taking the leadership, and a good early leadership goal by Nick McGill to kick one straight through the middle, and good start for St. Peter's, who would want to get off to a good start, of course, as we mentioned, being on the bottom of the ladder, but against a team they probably fancy themselves beating and at home.
Yeah, absolutely, and in these kind of conditions you see these, low scoring arm wrestle type games. The game beforehand, both teams only kicked 7 goals each, so if you think about it that way, 1 goal in terms of this game could mean a lot. So good for St. Peter's to get off this start. We're about 4.5 minutes into this first quarter here at St. Peter's. As we said, the rain is staying away for now, which is good for our friend Harry on the camera out in the elements. But we're back in the centre now, the Lockwood versus Kelly in the ruck. You can see Spence milling around it, but it's of course Nunn that comes out with the clearance straight away, kicked to the top of the 50. No mark taken. I think marks again are going to be hard to come by today for both teams. See Lockwood get a quick hand to it again for Spock. The quick kick came out from Facey. He's seen a bit of it early for Spock. Nice foot race here. McGill gets the quick handball out. Really well done there. The kick comes inside 50 on, just lost his footing there a bit, did the Spock forward. So Dodson takes the mark, plays on straight away. He got it out nice and wide to Scrimger. Now it's coming out through Kelly into the hands of Nunn. Spence is going to get wrapped up by Lockwood, someone about twice his size, just with a size differential there. So he'll be back to the umpire for a ball up. Straight up he throws it. Lockwood gets the quick tap out, quick hands again, coming through Spence, threw it on the boot. Payneham, with all the run, they just can't get any space, so we'll have another stoppage and we're back inside the square, but at least they're out of that patch of mud, Judd.
Yeah, they're just in the centre square, nearly where the game started, as we look to try and get the clearance here. We've seen both times that whenever whoever does get the clearance gets a good chance to do something in attacking sense, but it is going to be another ball up right in the middle. Looking for the tap, nice tap down by Lockwood, looking for the quick clearance, but it goes the other way to Spence. Out the back though, nicely read, and nice mark there just to stop the attacking momentum of Payneham. The ball goes now the other way towards the wing, but good collision but fair. In the middle of the ground looking for his quick handballs, Giannini, who has to dig deep to get that one out. And now the quick kick comes away to no one in particular. Looking for the kick away, they do find it through Sparkle. And just on the edge of the 50-metre line now as they look to try and get it inside, but again nicely wrapped up. It's going to be the umpire's ball. So yeah, not too much occurring. Pretty a little bit messy early, but both teams just a bit of an arm wrestle trying to find a bit of room. That kick's good though, on a one-on-one in the pocket, and again nicely read by the St. Peter's defence, just reading it well, taking that mark. And yeah, you said marks would be hard to come by, and they've got a few now in defence, St. Peter's, so if they could do that, it'll go a long way of winning this one, as they look to really stop all the pain and momentum with marks. There's another one, no, just couldn't mark it, was Lockwood, and now just fighting for it right on the edge. It's going to be a boundary throw in, not just outside the 50-metre line.
I think we're going to see a lot of ball on the ground today. As I said, we've not seen too many marks. So the throw will come on the far wing. Lockwood and Kelly going at it again. Kelly got it this time, but the clearance comes the way of Spock. That nice long kick straight into the hands of Montgomery. Just did it all too easy now. Now they've got a one-on-one here with George. Be George versus Shirley. George lays a great tackle. A little bit of a throwdown afterwards by George, but that is a great tackle. He wins the holding the ball free. Has a chance to take it back now, does Harvey George for Spock, and they are looking to kick their second goal of the game. About 8.5 minutes in here now, and as I said, goals can be hard to come by today, so 2 goals to start off this game could be huge, Jad.
Yeah, for sure. And George did get a goal last week. They had 5 goal kickers, only for 5 goals, but he was one of them, so knows how to get the big sticks.
Well, we'll hope he knows how to get it through now. The wind seems to have died down. Harvey George goes a little bit short and almost a pass in the end through to Davidson, so probably not the right decision there. Davidson plays on straight away. Good voice was heard to Wagner, so he knew he could take it in the hands. The kick from Wagner wasn't great. Plenty of Spock players ready to mop it up. Wilsden sends it in. Good punch coming through though against George. Going to try and go back through the middle through Kelly. Is that holding the ball? It is. Great tackle there.
A few holding balls in a row, yeah, which gives them the opportunity now to go forward again. Good kick right in the pocket. Has a bit of a mismatch on size, but it was a 2-on-1 in the end, and well done by Payneham just to get back and help out their player. But it's still a bit scrappy here right at the depth, and it is punched through for a rush behind. So 1 point added to the scoreboard. 1-1-7 plays 0-0-0 for Payneham. Nearly 10 minutes played here at Cater Oval, round 13 in the Adelaide Footy League. Of course, no Div 1 action last week. Every team had a bye, so both teams will be well rested and ready for action and ready for a tough, grueling match, which I assume this one is going to be. Good mark by Jonathan Giannini now. Goes inbound. Big kick by Mackenzie. Looking for the mark, but again cut off by Spock with that mark instead, and goes the other way. Quickly trying to find some room, instead he goes wide. That was Hamish Allen. And then chips it was Facey, finding a few chipping marks inside forward line. Again looking for another chip. That time maybe he should have went back and kicked it. Does find McGill though, coming in now with the kick. Likes it off the boot, but just hits the post. You could probably even hear that on the mic. A few chipping kicks to teammates. They played off for a while, miskicked it, but then just found a little bit of room with Ben McGill. Nicely picked up off the ground, and we'll see what they do with his kick in, because last time they went this way towards Giannini. This time they go just past him a bit longer. The snap away by Davidson. Looking to get the ball away. Spock, they're happy with that one on the bench. You can hear him with the contest they're providing up behind the ball. Spence though does well with quick handball, and now Payneham going forward. Through none. Pass handballs it over the top. Thinking about the 1-2, instead he's going for the shot.
Oh dear.
Left, very left. Never looked like going through. Right off the boot, it was started left and kept going even more.
Well, I think that was Kelly, and people say you can't let the ruck take those kicks, and that might be a good example of that. But
what do they say? Never handball to a ruckman.
That's it. But you can see, you can see Nunn there still trying to catch his breath. He did all that running work just to get it in there. So
for sure.
Sure, he probably would have liked it to be finished off with a goal, but not to be.
Yeah, it's a good movement nonetheless. You know, more of that will be handy for them.
That's it. It's good to see. So Charlie Allen now going long down the line. It was only gone as far as Dodson, it looks like, for Payneham. Just chops it off there. Sends the kick down. Charlie Allen, good defensive work. Gets it back to the advantage of Spock. Bedford's there. Takes a nice easy chest mark. Quickly plays on. All on his own. Nick McGill could have played on, but he's decided to take the set shot, so he's going to have to go back now. He had so much empty space in front of him, Nick McGill, but he has already converted one so far. He goes short again to Bedford. I wouldn't be leaving Ty Bedford all on his own in the forward line, but that's what seems to have occurred. So he'll have a kick now, probably about 25 metres out. Bit of an angle there, a bit more than 45, I reckon, but I think he can kick it. Do you reckon he could kick it, Jad?
Yeah, Bedford's a special player. He can do it.
He is, and I think he's got a good record at this Oval. I've seen him kick goals here before. Could this be the start of something for Spock? Bedford, ball looks good on the way in. Oh, just drifted.
They're celebrating.
Another behind to Spock.
They were celebrating and high-fiving and they didn't realise.
So they moved to 1-3, just ahead of Payneham with the single behind at the moment. So a nice 8-point lead to Spock at the moment. Now trying to defend it, keep it in. Bedford again, quick punch out the back, very clever. They're on the move here, Spock. Oh, is that in the back? Is it holding the ball? Umpire says it's holding the ball. Great tackle there from Giannini.
Yeah, very nice tackle, and almost a goal same tackle, was running in the 50 by himself until that tackle came. So yeah, well done by him, and passed it off to his teammate Mackenzie, who's also a very good player. Been in their best quite often. 7 out of 11 rounds he's been in their best, Mackenzie, so very handy player in defence for them as they progress now down the wing through Davidson. Finding Hodges with a big kick in the danger zone, over the top, no mark taken as they look for a bit of room to get the kick away now. Well done now by Nunn and Nye, the captain, into the pocket, into the goal square, just on the edge of the goal square. Big mark. I believe it's Kelly.
It's Kelly again.
So yeah, we saw him have a shot earlier. That time was on the run. This one will be a set shot from a bit of a tight angle, but very close to the goal. He looks back confidently. Didn't look for any teammates. So going back and looking to make amends of the kick earlier is Nick Kelly. Coming in now. Looks to go in. Yes, it's gone through. So it's going to be a 1 goal to Payneham, their first of the afternoon, and more importantly first for his team as they look to get back into this one. 2 points of difference, 15 minutes played in this first quarter. It's been a not bad quarter so far. There's been some action, a bit early, a bit slow start, but now it's opened up a bit and you see all the big players getting involved more.
Yeah, that's it. Probably St. Peter's probably could have made a bit more of their opportunities. Yeah. They held it down inside their 50 for a while.
Yep.
We saw a couple of their little chip kicks inside 50, just didn't go quite their way, went straight to Payneham players. Payneham gone straight down, got the goal, and that's another great tap out from Kelly. Quick kick comes out, right in front. Here comes McGill, just trying to scoop it up. He goes in there again. We know he always goes in head first. Few players all involved in there. McGill still trying to scrap it out. Umpire not blowing the whistle. He chooses to now.
Eventually.
Now that all the midfielders have got nice and muddy, got down and dirty in there. So
we talked about the white shorts before the match. They're not going to be white for very long, I think.
Not for much longer. A bit of holding going on in the ruck. Free kick goes the way of Kelly. He knows exactly how to play that. Goes straight and long. Oh, a few players flying up for that one, but just spills out the back. Looking for it was Facey for Spock. You can see Spence is involved. Facey just wraps him up. 2 number 4s going at it. And again, the umpire just waiting for that whistle a little bit there, trying to see if the ball will pop out, but it's probably not going to on a day like today. But we pushed the ball all the way down, just inside the Payneham 50. But it looks like McGill's gone down here. That's Ben McGill. He's just looking a bit proppy there. I don't know if it's his leg or his ankle, but something's gone a bit amiss there. But we've still got to play on this game. Spock looking through the middle. They got Montgomery there. Just gets down on his knees. Gets up pretty quickly. Not a lot of options inside 50. Players still streaming back. Montgomery. Probably not the right kick. Going to make things a bit more difficult here for his teammates, but Higgins was held. Mark's just outside 50. Higgins, nice and long, plenty of Payneham bodies, and it goes straight into the hands of Mackenzie. So I think they just got a little bit sucked into playing too fast there, Spock, and went right into Paynham's hands. This is why they're such a good team. So I say as it spills out of the hands of Bauer, but now they're going straight through the middle. Rahui, nice speed there. Rahui's still running. Ball goes a little bit over his head in the end. Hodges is there. The umpire's paid a free, so just a throw there, Jad.
Yes, the throw there given. I was watching Ben McGill run off while you were commentating. yeah, was almost hopping near the end, couldn't really stand on his leg, and you know, Ben McGill's sore, something's wrong because he's a very tough player. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if he comes back on, or there's been an update on that. But that could be a big loss for St. Peter's this afternoon, already with the Rodos out and Allen with some of their key players already and through the midfield. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, but still doing alright. Spock, they probably had more inside 50s if we had the Dartfish stats. Shout out to Dartfish, our sponsor for today's stream. So they probably have more inside 50s, but haven't made the most of it, as you mentioned. And even when they go inside 50, Mackenzie's been good, and a few others in the defence just reading well. Dodson as well. So we'll see as they go inside 50 once again. And they take a mark here. Looking for the mark, just couldn't take it, was Higgins. The ball now bobbling around. It's going to be a free kick paid for St. Peter, so they can definitely get a good inside 50 here. A good dangerous one. Good lead from the deepest forward. Decides not to go for him and goes even deeper than that. Another free kick or whistle blown. I think it's just going to go back. I don't know if
he set up the three properly or what was going on there.
Yeah, maybe rushed it a bit, so just gone back to do it again. Look out for Bedford in this situation. Good Crumman, he loves a good Crumman goal. I think I saw him kick
on his own again.
Yeah, he's on his own, very dangerous player. I saw him kick 4, I think, in a quarter, and then he got injured. That was earlier in the year, round 4, I think, something like that. So very interesting. Very good player, very dangerous. There's someone on him now, but they do go towards him. Can he take the mark? Over the top of all of them. It's going to be a boundary throw in.
It was almost just what you said though, Chad. It looked like it was all going to happen just the way you said it.
Yeah, so of course these two teams have played already earlier in the year in round 4. That occasion Payneham won that one by 11 points, so a very close game on that occasion as well. St. Peter's been close in many matches, despite only winning 3 games all season. They've been in the contention to win a lot more, so it will be always dangerous for any team they verse. Long kick now to clearing it out of the defence, but only goes as far as St. Peter's and Carruthers. And Lockwood helping it go forward. Good mark. Looking inbound towards Bedford now. Just misjudged the timing of his run a little bit, so gave Dodson the chance to come and intercept it, but it is going to be a stoppage inside the forward 50. Quick throw up. Looking for a bit of room to get out of there, but it is Nunn who gets the clearance eventually. Straight through the middle of the ground. Right in the muddy bit, so it's just going to be socketed forward by Hodges. Couldn't get a mark, so play on, and now the ball rebounds the other way. Looking for a mark on the wing. Good strong hands by Hamish Allen. Still 2 Allens out there, so we'll keep using the first names as they go forward. They find another mark, so yeah, their aerial work, their marking's been good. St. Peter's early. I think in these conditions might be a bit tricky to mark, but they've done well to take some marks in dangerous positions. Forward now, into the pocket, trying to pick it up cleanly, but it goes over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, they're looking for Montgomery there. He's been very strong. We've seen him hit some targets with him further up the ground. So if they can hit him inside that deep 50, I think he can be quite dangerous. The throw-in now will be inside the spot 50. They need to just lock it in here and score, which they haven't necessarily been able to do given the opportunity. And now Payneham just run it out of the 50, looking for Wagner on the far wing. He's got a one-on-one. It's just going to fall over the line in the end, but they gain some nice meterage out of it. The stoppage will come pretty central to the wing. Again, just enjoying playing on that far side of the ground, making it more difficult for us to see, which we always appreciate. Just as the rucks line up now, so Kelly and Lockwood, that battle's going to go on all day. As we mentioned earlier, Lockwood playing his 200th game for Spock today. Very impressive milestone, especially for the big man. Ruck, very tough position, especially on the body. There goes Lockwood again. He gets first hands to it, but Payneham just able to chip it forwards. Defensive Spock holding up quite well though, I must say. Couple of nice looking tackles and the likes, good body pressure. Enjoying that a lot. Another stoppage. Still just trying to fight for it here. Spence trying to push through. They're just playing it very close to that boundary line, and it just trickles over the line again. Just Very much sticking on that far side. Just looking for someone to burst through and attack. So the umpire's going to throw it up again. We're very deep in that left-hand pocket. Payneham 50. Up goes the ball. Just misses the contest altogether. Spence is at the back. Kick goes nice and up in the air. Kelly tries to get under it. But Spock got the advantage now. Nice and long. Dodson's there looking for the mark. Can't quite get it. Just spills over the line. So just playing up and down that wing at the moment.
Yeah, the far wing. It's a bit far for us to see, but we'll try our best throughout the afternoon to call the action down there. But yeah, up and down the wing. We've seen a few inside 50s here and there, but nothing really coming from them. But St. Peter's been inside more, I'd say, and had a few shots at goal they probably should have scored. But yeah, still a very close game. 2 points the margin. 24 minutes played as we enter time one now. On the far wing, we're going to have a ball up. Both teams just looking for a little bit of room to get the clearance. Now it does come towards the 50-metre line, sliding, trying to get the mark, but just mistimed the slide. So now it's going to continue play on. In the pocket, big tackle. Nicely done. It's going to be a free kick for St. Peter's with a big tackle. We've seen a few holding the ball's gone their way. They've done well to really put the pressure on Payneham when they do get possession of it. Long down the line, Lockwood has his hands up, nearly took the mark, but not quite, and it bowls over for a boundary throw-in. So yeah, St. Peter's 10th on ladder, 3-9 record, but only 3 wins behind Payneham, which sounds like a lot, 3 wins, but Payneham, who was sitting in 4th compared to 10th, with only a 3-game gap, just shows how close this year's Adelaide Footy League season is, and any week anyone could beat anyone really, and one week some team looks like a finals lock, next week they're missing finals, so still a lot to play for in this season as we enter the latter parts of the season. Nearly a big mark there, good fly by Bauer. This goes over the line though, just couldn't finish off his good work.
No, I agree, Judd. You know, apart from, you know, you've got your Gunungas and Shocks up there probably leading the way, apart from that you just feel like, you know, anyone can win any game. As you said, it's just so close.
Yeah, exactly, and all the teams, you know, have their key players which they rely on, but they're all well-rounded as well. Good depth from the B team. Payneham deep in defence, but the siren blows, so that's going to be quarter time here at Cater Oval for round 13 action. Thanks to Dartfish. 1-3-9 plays 1-1-7, just 1 goal each in that quarter. For St. Peter's, Nick McGill kicking that one, and for Payneham, it was Kelly with his kick just from good work from his teammates. So we'll have a bit of a break. We'll come back after a bit of a break, and we'll come back with a second quarter of action here.
Welcome back to Cater Oval. It is quarter time of the Division 1 clash between St Peter's and Payneham. We are of course brought to you by Feeling Footy and Sports Interactive, and today we are brought to you by Dartfish Stats. So if you're interested in getting all your stats, everything you do in a footy game, get in contact with Dartfish. I'm Beck Northcott. I'm here with Jad Gosson, and we saw probably what we thought a low scoring affair in the first quarter, just 2 points separating these teams.
Yeah, we saw a lot of play in the middle of the ground, but when they did go forward quite a bit each, so just couldn't finish it off in terms of the scoreboard. Yeah, interesting, pretty evenly matched so far. We'll see if the game can break open in the second quarter as we're already underway. Just a quick update, we saw Ben McGill run into the rooms while the rest of his team were in the huddle, so again he seemed to be moving not too bad, so we'll keep an eye on that, see if he comes back on, but he's a key player for this St Peter's team, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes back. But a few soccer kicks to start off. Both teams have been watching the Euros over the last few weeks.
We know you have, Chad.
Yes, I have. I've did really well in the footy tipping, or the Euros tipping I should say. As we go forward now towards the boundary line, no team really chasing it too hard. It's going to go over the last possession rule as St Peter's look to bring it back. The switch could be on, a bit dangerous maybe to go with that big kick to switch it.
I think they agreed with you.
And they go long down the line instead for another boundary throw and on the wing.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of sport going on at the moment. You've got the Euros, the cricket's on, the golf's on.
Yes.
Footy, the Olympics is about to start.
I do love the
It's a crazy
Olympics.
time for
Tour de
sport,
France.
Jad. Yeah, it's all on.
Interesting to see now Johnny Reid in defence, so I've been following him closely all year. So basically he started in the forward line, was their top goal scorer in the first 5 rounds, 6 rounds, something like that. Since then moved him in defence, they won 3 of the next 5 games, so bit of a tool, a player in defence for them, and been working well as the season progresses. They've stuck with it, and he's back there in defence now. We're doing a bit of a stats piece on him. I'm going to be doing some narrating on some stats that we have found about St Peter's as well as Shock. It should be up on Facebook next week sometime, so just going to do a bit of a script and talk about some stats we found, and that's all thanks to Dartfish. So been using Dartfish to find some interesting stats for some teams.
Well, that's why we love Dartfish, you know.
Yeah, so look out for that on the Facebook page and all the socials. So yeah, Johnny Reid comes up in that, so he's in my mind, and just seeing him in defence just proves that they're sticking with him in defence, and we'll see him have impact as the game progresses. Probably the tallest defender they have, but when he was forward, he's still he's still their second most kicked goals this year, so 13 goals for him, but most of them did come very early on. He was probably at 13 in the first few rounds of the season. Since then moved back in defence. As we look to go forward now with St Peter's, long kick towards the 50-metre line. In front is Payneham, however, gets hands to it. It's going to be play on, a big tackle. It's going to be ball up.
And just still, you know, no real advantage here early in the second quarter. I think we are tipping for just a real low scoring affair here. Now a quick kick comes out from Malachi. Carruthers has got a one-on-one available. McGill just came out of that not too well. I think he was looking for a free. That's of course Nick McGill. We're still waiting to see if Ben McGill will re-enter the game. Didn't look like, you know, he was in a terrible amount of pain or anything, but just didn't look right, so we hope to see him back on. We're stuck deep in the pocket for Spock. Bedford gets a quick handball out to Higgins. Higgins threw it on the boot. That's Socket gone through for a goal. Yeah. And who's kicked that in the end? Looks like McGill. They're all getting around him.
Yeah, I think it is McGill.
So, wowee, that's just come out of nowhere.
His second.
Goodness gracious, well.
Nick McGill, his first year back at St Peter's, played for Sydney Swans VFL team last year, so very high level to be playing at. 2021 was the A-grade best and fairest for St Peter's, and won the premiership with St Peter's in 2018. So a key player for them and this football club for many years. Good to have him back this year, and really showing how good he is. 2 early goals. And in a low-scoring match, like we mentioned, any goal you can get is a big plus. You can soccer kick it off the ground to go through, why not? And really pushes them out in front by a little bit more than they were earlier, so well done by Nick McGill and St. Peter's, and we're back in the middle now.
Everyone, well, all played well.
Yes. Looking for a bit of space now, big kick away. It bounces over the two players wrestling, so it's going to be progressing forward with another big soccer kick. Trying to pick it up now off the ground, nicely done, tackled well by Payneham, who just kick it to anywhere just to get it out of there. Doesn't go towards the boundary line, eventually does go over. It's going to be a boundary throw, and it is right in front of the St. Peter's bench there. They'll get the best view of this boundary throw in. A lot of numbers around the ball, a lot of congestion. One player in the forward line of Payneham in terms of a one-on-one situation there, and everyone else is forward of the ball. Good mark though by Chris Danzig, who goes forward now, looking towards Campbell. No luck for him with the bounce. It goes the other way now towards Bedford. Bedford does nice to take a mark a long way from home, ran well up the ground to help out his teammates. But that kick,
horrible,
not good, straight to the middle of the ground, and Kelly with that one, who just tries to chip it forward. A bit too short for his teammates, so has a lot of work to do. Goes back to where it came from, to Kelly, and now Spence for Campbell, looking to find Nunn. Nunn does well to use his feet just to get out of danger, and back towards where it came from again, towards Spence. On the edge of the 50-metre line, plays on quickly, looking to find a mark earlier, looking for the mark, punch away, just misjudged the punch, had to go in for his tackle, and caught a little bit high, a bit too desperate to get the ball back. Was Sparkle of Payneham, and it gives away a free kick on that occasion.
Yeah, just a little bit clumsy, and that, you know, sometimes when it's frantic like that, you accidentally just go in a bit early, get too excited and they're too high, and that's, you know, sometimes you just don't have that composure because it's all too exciting, it's all happening, you're just desperate to get it out. But that was a good tackle there, but really nice run on there, good effort from Spock. I'm all ready to go now, straight towards the goal square. Is it going to go through? That kick came off Dwyer, I believe,
and now
it's finished it off. So here comes the next goal for Spock. So in a low scoring game, I'd consider this a run on because that's their third goal.
Yeah, just keep my eye on who that player was if he turns around. But yeah, for sure, that was good work from Cormac Dwyer. Had the ball in the middle of the ground, long kick towards the danger zone, and they had about two players really deep who just roughed it off and kicked a goal with no real pressure coming from straight in front, running straight into an empty goal.
I know, my depth perception is so off from here. I thought, you know, Dwyer's kick, that was going straight through and it was all over, but there was still a bit of room to go.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's okay. We'll work out who it was.
It's the furthest.
Oh, I think that's
player.
George, I reckon.
Yeah, it could be George. Yep, you're right.
I reckon that is George. We'll keep an eye on him.
But yeah, well done. Anyway, team goal in the end, and that's the main thing.
And another one here.
Yeah, St. Peter's going forward again. Looking for George again, but that time just a little bit short on his run on, and yeah, number 50 was Harvey George. So good goal from him, but it is a team game, and the team goal is the main thing here. And 2 goals in a row for St. Peter's does become a bit of a run on, a bit of momentum going their way. They go forward again towards the pocket. George is there again, but just couldn't pick it up. But it's going to be a boundary throw in, but in a very dangerous area. Oh, it's going to be last possession actually, so no one touched that.
No.
That one. It looked like a few players trying to touch it.
That end just messes with my head. I can't tell where the line is.
Yeah,
you know?
We're on the 50-metre line of the opposite end, so it is going to be a bit tricky sometimes, but we'll try our best. And on you guys at home, with the good camera work there by Harry, we'll be able to see maybe even better than us. So keep an eye on who you've had. Of course, the best player today gets Archie Stong, so keep an eye on who you think is the best player, and we'll try and give them the thongs at the end. We'll see if we get the same opinion there. As they work their way onto the wing now, but just a little bit too wide. It's going to be a boundary throw in right on the wing, right in the middle of the ground.
I think the wind caught that.
Yeah,
it just got a little bit gusty just then, and just the ball just went flying.
Yeah, the wind had picked up a bit. Good spot. St. Peter's again. They had got the momentum, getting a big clearance, big kick inside the forward line. Can they take a mark? Nice strong hands.
There
Used
we
his
go.
body well, protected the space, and that's George again with a very, very nicely done. Just, yeah, like protected the space, got his hands free, and a very, very nice mark.
Yeah, just protected it really well, and you know the chest mark is obviously your safest option in these conditions when you got the wind as well. Use your body to hold it in, so you have to really get in that spot. Exactly what he did.
George already has one earlier. He kicked the goal last week as well. A good goal kicker for them. He's going to line up. He's going to kick it from about 25-30 metres, probably about 30 metres, and not too much of an angle. Coming in now, had a bit of room still on the player of the mark. He hits the post.
Oh, George!
He could have took an extra step or two, I think. He kicked it from quite far from that player that was on the mark there.
Harvey.
Nearly went through, but just hit the post and away. And now going the other way is Anthony Giannini on the wing, who goes quickly, looking for his teammates, but out for a boundary throw in with a nice smother.
Yeah, good pressure at the moment from Spock. You can see through Giannini there, they're getting a nice run on out of that kick on, but Spock laid the pressure down. They forced the stoppage. We'll be back on that centre wing. Of course, we're on the far side. We should never play it over here. So up in the ruck, we had a bit of a change there. Looks like it's Henry who's come in for Spock. Just giving Lockwood a bit of a rest. Trying to get hands to it. Umpire's seen a little bit of hanging on, so the free will go to Henry. Just have a little bit of a look around, taking his time. Henry plays on. Nice long kick.
Nice.
Oh, and straight into the basket of Montgomery. And I said when he was down this end, he's just been threatening those nice strong lead-ups. And this time I think he's finally in range. So can he get his first of the day, Will Montgomery?
Matty Nunn's back on, so big handy inclusion.
I'd say they count down the seconds until he comes back on, Judd, when it's his rotation. So Montgomery now. Nice action. Is it going to get touched on the line? It is. It was a good looking kick, but just a little bit low. So another behind going the way of Spock. They move to 3 goals, 5-23. Still a good lead, I'd say, in these conditions, ahead of Payneham, 1-1-7.
12 minutes played in this second quarter. Thanks to Dartfish. Spence in the middle of the ground, on hands and knees, has to handball it wide to Hodges. Hodges is a long way from home, one of their top goal kickers, with 18 goals this season, helping out in the defensive half of the ground. But St. Peter's again done well to turn it over. Good forward line kick.
Oh, there he is.
Very nicely done there by number 22. I don't have a number 22, but well done by him anyways to find a big kick towards the leading player of George, and another nice mark by him. We saw earlier, kicked the goal, hit the post as well, so he's been having a lot of action this quarter and going to have a shot now from about 40 metres out. Not too bad of an angle.
Maybe someone got a new Guernsey at quarter time.
He kicked it well earlier, just hit the post. We'll see if he can do one better and get it through the big six this time, or starts right, drifts even more right out on the full.
Oh, Harvey.
They've had some shots, St. Peter's. They do have a good lead, like you mentioned, but they could have been even further in front with the shots they've had. 3-5 and now in the full. Payneham with a quick kick in, almost turned it over. They're going to have some work to do here. They take the option to just go over the boundary line. They're going to have a stoppage and a boundary throw in here inside St. Peter's borderline. So just messed it up from the kick in a bit. Right in front of the building there, this course here at St. Peter's College. Cater Oval as they go in.
Oh,
good one-handed grab out the rock, looking for the quick
he's
kick
gonna
away.
Get done there.
He's going to get pinged on the ball. Good tackle from behind, goal-saving tackle.
That was nearly some kind of move of the day from Harvey George. He took it out of the ruck, took everyone on. If he'd finished that off with a goal, that was going straight into my goal of the week nomination.
Yes.
Started from the stoppage straight in because it's been elite.
Yes, for sure.
But it's okay, not to be. I'm feeling good energy here from Spock at the moment though. Nice long kick into the 50. Turnover comes. Payneham, they're enjoying playing long down on this line, but it's not giving them much love.
Yeah.
They seem to be coming down here every time, but it's not working out for them.
Yeah, I'd say the majority of the players been in the Spock's forward half, and they should probably be a little bit more in front, but if they keep it up, the goals will come. Definitely.
We just see none get the clearance as it didn't quite make it to the rucks. Here go Payneham. Bit of an empty 50. There's Reid there. That was a bit of a high hit against Reid, I think, as well as a bit of hanging on. So did really well there, Reid. Nice composure because Payneham were on the run. Allen's on the run now. Just hooks through the middle of the ground. That's a beautiful kick. He was looking there for Montgomery. That was almost just a chef's kiss moment here. It was, again, not to be. I think just the wind might have picked that up at the end here. Saw a little bit of a falcon over the other side. Just the skills here being dragged down by the wind. Payneham, chance to go forward now. Nice kick going in their forward half. Got plenty of there, just bodies flying everywhere at the moment. The composure here from Allen. Almost dived on top of it. Not paid. Just getting a little bit scrappy here, but I'm enjoying the desperation from Spock. They really want to get this back in their half of the ground. Here we go again. Quick kick comes. Bedford on the chase, just not in the right spot. That's a great tackle from Bedford. Absolute run down. I was about to say he needed a second effort there, and it came straight away.
Very nice tackle.
Oh, did well there, Bedford. Now we've seen him kick a couple of not ideal kicks, but this time finds a teammate easily. That was Dwyer. Dwyer goes long and wide, couldn't hit his target. That tackle's a little bit too high there from Henry, so the free kick will go the way of Payneham.
Payneham now, they've had a few minutes of a little bit of success with their movement going forward, finding a little bit of dangerous spots. Still haven't had a chance to get any goals though, and Wagner again just very desperate to get the ball, gives away the free kick. Finding Hamish Allen. Allen now towards the wing. On this side of the wing this time for Higgins, Samuel Higgins. Quick kick, just through the hands of Montgomery, but really crap that time actually, so no luck with him. And now Payneham go the other way through Spence. Long kick, Kelly's there, as well as one of his teammates sandwiches the player. Wagner spins out of trouble. Beautiful chipping kick. Try running into space now. They have a chance to pass, but he shoots instead and gets the goal, most importantly. Nicely done by Catalano there, and had two players deep in the forward line, 2-on-1, so could either handball it, or if he does have a shot, make sure he finishes it, and that's exactly what he did. Good goal for Payneham, much needed goal, just to reduce the margin a little bit, and a bit of reward for effort the last few minutes. They've been a bit better. Yeah, absolutely, and you saw they finally got that overlap. We saw as everyone was streaming in, they had the numbers, and I was just praying for Catalano that he could finish that off, because he had so many options there. He chose to go for goal. If you're going to do that, you've got to kick it, but he finished it off nicely. And you're right there, Judd, they've just been working hard the last few minutes, pushing it into the 50, getting those repeat entries, and finally got the reward for effort. Now they're still 10 points down, Payneham, but I'm just feeling like they've got a little bit of energy coming in their favour now. As none with the clearance, there's no one even near him. It's Giannini, sends it in nice and long. You've got Spence there, and he's got absolutely coat hanged. There'll be no arguments there about that being too high. Goodness me. So yeah, a bit of good. All their key players getting involved. We saw Nunn and Spence. Wagner earlier did very well to get the ball over to Catalano. Yes. So yeah, all the big players in the leadership group, I'd say, officially or unofficially, all getting involved. Yeah, I think they just all lifted a little bit there. Saw that really good clearance from Nunn, and then Spence. That's what happens when you get in front and look dangerous. Defenders can just make mistakes like that. Can he finish it off here, Spence? That's a beautiful looking kick. Just gone to the right hand side, so
behind there this time for Payneham. They move to 2 goals to 14. Just 9 points behind Spock, 3-5-23. Allen now gets it to McGill. McGill looking to go with a little bit more speed. Works out nicely, but the handball by Higgins, it was repelled. Here comes that pressure. Now, and a little bit of a harsh holding the ball free there, which will go to the advantage of McGill. Now, I thought probably about 5 minutes ago Spock was putting on all the pressure. I reckon it's gone back the other way now. Payneham are putting the pressure on now. I don't know how you're seeing it, Jad.
Yeah, exactly right. It was definitely momentum is a big thing in footy, and we saw the first half of this quarter, or even more than half of this quarter, it was all St. Peter's. They got a few goals but couldn't capitalise probably as much as they could have hoped for, and then now it's swung the other way and Payneham are the ones scoring. That kick, however, deep inside St. Peter's forward line, just punched over for Ross behind. So yeah, Payneham a bit on top in the last few minutes. They got a goal. If they can push for one more before half time, 20.5 minutes played in this quarter, be a big effort.
Sort of feel them coming. I think it just...
Yeah, for sure. And 10 points the margin, it's not a very big margin, you know. If St. Peter's got one of their goals they probably should have got, it would have been up to about late 20s margin. So big difference in if you take your chances or not, and just one goal to Payneham makes it a 10-point margin. I'll be happy with that. The ball finds itself on the wing and now over the boundary line for a boundary throw in right in front of the benches there. Be interesting to see if Payneham get one more here. It'll be definitely a big effort for them. They'll love that. They'll really want to push for that.
Not much time left probably. We're on 21 minutes here, but there's probably not a lot of time on.
Yeah, not the highest scoring quarter, so not too much time wasted as the ball's still bobbing around. Similar position where it's thrown in. St. Peter's wanting the advantage, but it's going to be a free kick actually to Payneham. So
bit of a throw there, I think.
Giannini gets the ball. Hodges calling for it down the wing. Ignores him for now. Goes there eventually, but there's a bit of a pack form now. Big fly at the back. Just couldn't take it. Was Reid. Looking to get the kick away quickly. Long kick down the line. Malachi Carruthers. To no one in particular. Just nicely, easily intercepted. Payneham now looking to go the other way. Switches it to the other wing. Down the field, a few options for him. Goes in that direction. Just takes a bounce and bounces a little bit wrong, but nicely smothered, so Payneham still have possession. Looking to get the ball forward now. The ball just outside the 50-metre line. It's going to be a free kick.
I thought that might have got away with that being in the side, but... Yeah,
no advantage either, so probably good. They got a big switch on if they want it in Jackson Martin. Ignores him for now as they look to go in, trying to take the player on the player of the mark, gets wrapped up, play on, no holding the ball, but gives away possession nonetheless, and now trying to take a player on that's on the mark did not work out for him as they look to get the ball back, and they get a mark just on the defensive side of the 50 now as they go forward quickly. Hodges, Kelly, nearly getting away with each other, but do well to communicate, nearly takes the mark, play on, big tackle holding the ball, so good pressure by St. Peter's, just holding on for now.
Yeah, and that was Higgins with the chase down. He's had some really good patches in this game. I've just like what he's been doing, a few little selfless acts like that now. Higgins goes long and wide. He's got Bedford there. Bedford's got to get himself in position. Carruthers ends up with the kick. Cut off by Campbell. I think that's the second time that's happened to Carruthers in the last couple of minutes, unfortunately. Campbell goes long. As far as Charlie Allen, I think he's one of the best on for St. Peter's in this game so far. As Campbell tries to bustle through. He bustled through too many. Umpire says play on. Great movement there comes from Fergus Carruthers. Ball goes long and high, but it's just going to bounce out. So Jackson Martin should take this one for last possession. And just feel both teams here just getting a bit frustrated, I think, because no one can get the clean possession. Reid almost overran it, so it went to Facey. Intercept mark here. This is what I'm talking about. Both teams, no one can kind of get that advantage. We've got a couple of kicks each way and then a turnover. And you can just feel the frustration on
there's not much,
both teams
not
here.
much
there
movement.
again, see the skills. coming down a little bit to Grant. It's almost back where they started us, Spock. It's a very hard game for movement here, I think, because you cannot use the corridor. If we look at, you can see on the camera here, the condition of the corridor, it's not in a good way. It's all mud there, and I think teams are just struggling to work out which way to go with it. It's Montgomery looks to go long. It's all Payneham out the back as well. Kick comes long, Facey's under it, couldn't take the mark, and now he's stuck in a one-on-one. Oh, and that's so unselfish. It's going to be taking the legs out though. Bit unfortunate to Grant, because I think what he did there was quite brave, but you can't do that anymore when they're taking the legs out. This time Wagner, but it's Allen. He's going to be composed here through the middle. Oh, they got numbers here. Higgins, Carruthers. Now he's had a few that have been cut off. This one isn't, but it's not marked by Higgins. Straight back through the middle looking for Spence. 2-on-1, he somehow came out of it. None. He's got time, he's got space. Can he hit up the mark? Yes, he can. And goes straight to Rahui on the siren. Wowee. Now this could be a real moment here on the halftime siren, Jad.
And he saw the difference. Everyone's been trying to find their teammates, and as soon as Nunn gets the ball, didn't rush, had all the time in the world it seemed, and found Rahui just in time.
And that's why he's such a good player, Nunn. He just gets in that space. He seems to have, like you said, all the time there, but can Rahui finish it off now? Kicking from not much of an angle, about 30 metres out. Is it going to drift in? It is. So Taj Rahui on the siren, no less, brings Payneham within 4 points at half time.
Yeah, big goal after the siren. He had a bit of pressure there to kick it and slots it nicely. He brings the margin to that 4 point margin, as you mentioned, and yeah, very interesting. I did mention if Payneham get a late minute goal, it's going to make it very interesting half-time team talk. Both teams have things they can work on, but it's a very competitive game here. And yeah, 1 goal to Rahui, 1 to Kelly, 1 to Catalano for Payneham, and for St. Peter's.
We got 2 to Nick McGill and 1 to Harvey George, and probably a Spock team that did not take the most of their opportunities that they had early in the first half of that second term. They had all the play, they had a few more shots on goal, and a couple that really I think could have gone through for goals. So I hope that doesn't come back to bite them, because you just know that Payneham are going to absolutely be coming. We saw all the play with Spock early in that quarter. Payneham just worked it back, and it probably speaks to how they played, that they just got that on the siren moment, because they weren't going to give up.
Yeah, exactly. They were pushing hard the second half of that second quarter, and they almost got rewarded for a little bit more than Spock did for the first half. But yeah, very interesting half of football. It's going to be a big team talk for both teams. We'll come back after a short break and give you second half footy here, thanks to Dartfish and Filming Footy live on YouTube. Every Div 1 match live on YouTube, so check it out as we go into the break. attack them.
Well, welcome back to Payneham Oval. We are looking at the second half of St Peter's and Payneham Division 1 men's action. We are of course brought to you by Footy and Sports Interactive as well as Dartfish, and we're straight back in here for the third quarter. And it's been a little bit of an arm wrestle here. There's only 4 points in it at the moment. Here comes Charlie Allen for St Peter's. I was just talking about him in the break. I think he's having an absolute cracker of a game. Not sure how you feel, Jad.
Yeah, he's been very good, and when Edward Allen's out, he's stepped up as well. He's been very, very good.
One Allen at a time. We've got two of them today, missing one, as you said, in Edward. And see how this third quarter plays out. It could clearly still go either way.
Yeah, it's. I think you mentioned a bit of an arm wrestle. I think that's a perfect way to sum it up. One team's got all the momentum, and then it switches the other way for large periods of the second quarter, especially. And yeah, 4 points in it. Both teams pretty evenly matched going into the second half, and could definitely go either way. Whoever really takes the most of their chances, because there haven't been that many chances to have shots at goal, and when you do get them, you just got to take them and hope that's enough to get you in front, because we saw St Peter's have a lot of good momentum, a lot of inside 50s, but probably didn't take the chances they could have. We saw George with one hit the post, one down the full, so a few key shots, set shots at goal that did not go the way they would have hoped. So yeah, very interesting. Of course, Rahul after the siren scored as well,
yes.
So when they did have that shot with a lot of pressure on it, got it straight through the big sticks, which could go a long way of getting in front of this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was, I thought it'd be interesting to see how Payneham came out after that, because as you said, Rahul right on the siren, and they're going straight back down that wing that they've played a lot of their footy on. Here they go, trying to find that first inside 50 for the quarter, all just diving on top of it. You see Reid there working hard. He's been playing very well in the defence back there, real leader I think in this game for Spock. Ball just trickles out again through Allen. He's trying to hit up McGill, and we haven't seen Ben McGill again, so it sounds like the injury might have got the better of him for today, which is a bit unfortunate. Payneham now. We've got a little bit of a tussle going on in the middle of the ground. The free looks like it's going to go the way of Giannini, and it is. We're just a little bit on there in the middle for a second there. If they'd moved the ball across, we would have had some kind of mud wrestling situation as well, which
the national sport of Turkey.
Yeah, which is a completely different sport. But that's okay. We have talked about how many sports are going on at this moment in the world. As the ball comes in long and high, was a little bit of a push out there. The crowd wanted it. The umpire says yes, so it'll go to Catalano. Shoved out of the contest.
About 40 metres out.
Do you reckon he can kick it from here, Jack?
He decides he wants to pass it off, so no.
No. I'm going to say,
very similar spot though.
Be a real moment here, I think, if Payneham can
it's just a bit better angle, but
get this first goal and get ahead. Really change how this game plays out. On the far side here, trying to see who it is.
Very similar distance to where Catalano was, just a little bit of a better angle.
Backed in his teammate. We'll see if it was worth it. Just lining up now. Will it come through? Crowd says yes. And none? I think that's none. None says yes as well.
I think it was 20.
Maybe I'm blind. Who knows?
I think it might have been. It was 20 something. I saw it too.
Well, clearly I'm going blind. That's alright, Jad. But what I'm not blind to is the fact that Payneham have hit the front.
Yes, I think it's Chris Dancing. We'll give it to him. Because it wasn't Mackenzie and it wasn't Jack Martin, so they're the only other 20s.
Alright. I'll back you in there for
that's
that one.
investigation work done for the day. But yeah, good goal nonetheless. And as you said, very, very good kick from about 40, 45 metres out to hit the lead. Payneham in front for the first time today, I think, or since very, very early on. So well done to them, and to find a way in front early in this third quarter. Only about 5 minutes played. Another free kick gone the way of Payneham, so bit of momentum on the way. Spence has the ball. Looks to pass it off towards the pocket. Catalano. Nice mark. Done well just to find a little bit of space on his opponent there, and good kick from Spence to find him. Catalano will have a shot now. We saw he had the ball earlier, passed it off, but this one much closer distance, but a bit more tighter angle. Looks confident though. 2 in a row in quick succession here for Payneham, if we can slot this one. Good kick off the boot, just drifts across the face of goal and couldn't get the angle correct. It's going to be a behind, but yeah, a few scoring shots early for Payneham. It's a good sign for them. Spock will really want to just wrestle back the momentum here, control the game a little bit, as they were doing for large parts of the second quarter.
Yeah, they really need to respond here, because just going by what's just happened in the last couple of minutes, a little bit of danger here, I think, of Payneham getting a bit of a run on. So all the pressure now, I think, is on Spock to just make a response here, and they really need a goal. So looking to go through the centre. I said not many teams have dared to go through there due to the conditions of it. Bouncing ball. Now they're on the run again. Payneham. Giannini gets the kick across to Wagner. Wagner goes long. Went back to Nunn. Involved in there was Jackson Martin. Inside 50 now. There's the one-on-one. Straight into the hands of Kelly. So notice that, yeah, they'd made a bit of a move there, putting Hodges into that starting ruck, Payneham. Put Kelly up forward.
We saw him have a one shot and one goal already, so he's definitely doing all right in the forward line.
So
good spot.
It's all on Kelly now. I did mention off air that they were looking a bit short up forward, so maybe they heard me. They put Kelly up there, nice tall target. Kelly, he makes no mistake, kicks it straight through, and God, I had a bit of a, go at it. Well, not a go, but I said, he sprayed one in the first quarter, and I said, that's why you don't give it to the ruck. Well, he's turned that around and said, well, Beck, I've now kicked 2 goals, so don't ever say anything like that again. And Payneham, they push out to 5-3-33, just out in a nice buffer there in front of Spock, 3-6-24. And this is where I said it could get a bit dangerous now. It's out to that 9-point lead.
Kelly in getting the second, as you mentioned, new player for them this season, coming from Anglevale, so a good inclusion. He's been very handy for them all season, and proving his worth today in round 13 here at Cater Over, thanks to Dartfish. 8 minutes played, back in the middle, a repeat stoppage with a tap by the Payneham ruckman there as they look to go forward, but they're going to go backwards first with a handball to Mackenzie, who does well just to get it to his teammate in Montgomery, I believe, for Sparkle, sorry. They're going towards the 50-metre line now as they look to try and get the ball into the forward line in a dangerous zone. Spence with a nice kick forward. It's going to be a free kick. The whistle blows, so down the field free kick on the way of Payneham.
Got the mark anyway, so it didn't matter too much in the end. And I think here's this little bit of a run-on that I was worried about for Spock fans. They just feel like they just got their nose in front here and are just really starting to dig in.
2 quick goals in a row in this quarter, lining up to number 3. Coming in now is Wagner. Over the top. Just didn't get that one quite as well as he would have liked. Tom Wagner, the top goal scorer here for Payneham. 20 goals this season in 12 rounds. Pretty good effort from him, and just missed on that occasion. But you're right, the momentum's all with Payneham. They've had a bit of a run on. They kicked 2 quick goals, a few behinds as well, so definitely a lot of the play and the scoreboard pressure coming from that end of the ground from Payneham. As they look to go forward again now through Sparkle. Freedom free kick. Again to Payneham, I believe, or St. Peter's this time. So bit of a holding the ball situation, and St. Peter's in defence.
Oh dear, it's just getting a bit hectic on the bench down there. Umpire's getting some advice, I think, from everywhere. The ball now with Alex Lillycrap. He's going straight into the switch. He's really backing himself here, and that was not the kick at all.
Kick.
Straight into the hands of Wagner. And whilst I like to see a player backing themselves in, that just wasn't it, because now it's down with Spence, and it's all become a little bit too easy for Payneham in the last 10 minutes. Spence have a chance here to just push out this lead, and this will be the biggest lead of the game, and more importantly the biggest lead in favour of Payneham. What can Spence do with it here? Got a chance of, got a fair old distance to get the ball on. Looks really nice off the boot. That just drifted across to the right, so another behind to Payneham.
I like to think he missed that one because there was a supporter behind him with a big flag waving around trying to distract him.
I see.
I haven't seen too many flags at local footy. It's good to see. I think they should bring them out more.
Yeah.
If you have one, or they should sell them in the merch store, because very handy inclusion, and it's a bit of fun to flag. Bit off topic, but
no, I like it. Bring something else to the call here, Jack. It's good.
St. Peter's now have the ball in the far wing, so they're trying to get forward in their own respect. We talked about Payneham, St. Peter's, when they went forward so much, they need to take the opportunities when they had them. A little bit of that with Payneham now. They've kicked 2 goals, 3 behinds in this third quarter. So if a few of them were more goals, would be even further in front. And with a low-scoring game like this, would have definitely been a very, very handy lead. It's still a manageable lead, I'd say. 11 points the difference as we go into the 12th minute mark of this third quarter. So yeah, only the 11 points. Could have been worse for St. Peter's. They need to really respond back with a goal of their own now. Bit of work for Michael O'Leary to do, of course, the coach of St. Peter's. Payneham now looking inbound, but instead does go down the wing, over the top of the player there. Spence done well to read the fly of the ball. Plays on quickly. Has a shot from about 50. Oh. Takes a good bounce and nails it.
There we go.
Spence, last time he tried to play it off and got a lot of inside 50s of his own respect. This time from about 50, had the run on, took the big kick towards the goals. The bounce favoured him straight through the middle, and a big goal for Payneham just to extend that lead. We've been talking about it. Maybe could go in one direction and really extend the lead for Payneham, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it's just all becoming a little bit much here for Spock at the moment. They led by 2 points and 4 points at quarter and half time respectively, but this third quarter has been all about Payneham. They've kicked 3 goals, 3. Spock yet to score in this quarter, which is not a great start for them, as we're back in the middle. Kelly's back into the ruck. See Nunn just looking for that ball to spill out, and to see the tackle pressure's increasing. Oh, here we go. It's all on again in the centre of the ground here. Now we know the umpires are cracking down on this kind of stuff. You can see the umpire's not having it. He's just getting it going again. There's one way to stop a fight. It's just throwing up the ball and getting things going again. So here comes McGill. They're inside 50 now, St. Peter's. It's a one-on-one. A little bit of hanging on there, I would have thought, towards Montgomery. Oh. And Payneham supporters are just providing some feedback. There might have been some mutual hanging on.
Yeah, they're holding each other, but that's why the umpire saw it. What can you do?
Yeah, I think Sam Scrimger there just maybe suggesting that there was a little bit of holding coming back from Montgomery as well, but the umpire's seen it as he will. Will Montgomery. He's just got to finish this one off, and he does. And that's a much needed goal for Spock, their first of the quarter. They move to 4-6-30. They still got 11 points to make up against Payneham at 6-5-41 as we're heading towards the 15-minute mark of this third quarter. It's gone fast, I think, this quarter. We're just zooming by.
Yeah, despite 4 goals occurring, it's been a bit of high scoring compared to the other two, and gone fast, and as well as it's interesting to see what happens after that goal. The more momentum with Payneham, and then there was a bit of a scrap. The umpire played on quickly. St. Peter's gets a free kick that was about a bit of a 50-50 decision, so make the most of that one, do St. Peter's, and if they can really take the momentum from that last passage of play and keep bringing it forward, it'll be big. Back to that 11-point margin. I like how you mentioned, the best way to stop the fight, just pull the ball up, and smart by the umpire there, because you don't want to be caught having a scrap while the ball's in play and leaving your opponent at the back or something like that. So as soon as the ball's in play, usually the fights stop.
That's it, and the coach wouldn't be happy with that, if he sees you're all too busy fighting when the game's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
Good way to just not draw attention to it either, just carry on.
Exactly, yeah. The ball landed in a bit of a puddle back there. I don't know if you saw that.
Splash.
Bit of a splash. That could affect how the ball was played now with it being a bit wet. But
a bit heavy.
Yeah, a bit more heavy, but we'll see how that goes. Lockwood in front with a tap. Goes back towards the boundary line where it just come from for a repeat boundary throw-in. Big few minutes here in the context of this game with the third quarter. 11 points of margin, not too much of a margin as it could have been with a few behinds for Payneham, and really just a big few minutes to see how this game will go. Third quarter, of course, premiership quarter. 16.5 minutes played, all the few stoppages in a row on the far end of the ground. Kelly and Lockwood again. This time Kelly takes out the ruck with a big kick forward on the wing, over the back of the pack. Bit of a foot race done well there with some clean hands, trying to find Spence. But the turnover does come now. Quick kick away. The few Payneham players there, they needed to talk. They really just contested each other, but they do get possession nonetheless. And now Bruce Spence again. He's been good in the back nearly, but plays on, looking for a bit of space for the kick. Over the top, just hits the post. Didn't have much room for that kick. Found just a quick kick away and just hit the post on the way through. So that's, I believe, 4 behinds this quarter.
Yes, I've got 4 behind.
Yes, 4 behinds this quarter for Payneham. They have 3 goals to go with it, but could definitely be a different story if they kick some of those ones.
They could have put this game away for sure, and it just really feels like they've gotten on top on this third quarter. I don't know what was said at half time, but I could definitely see when they came out on the field to warm up for this third quarter, had a lot of energy. Seemed like they really just wanted to lift, and they definitely have. So looking to go back inside 50 again. Rahui just going to spot up a teammate. He was in a better position, so we saw Rahui kick a goal right on half time. He's passed this one off. The crowd really want a shot here. I think it's Kristanzik who's got the ball, giving himself a nice big run up, and he's going to go for it in the end. And a decent kick to go through. As he put it through, no, so the points keep coming at the moment for Payneham. This time they are moving to 6-7-43, so 13 points ahead of Spock for 6-30.
Yeah, well called. A few too many behinds for Payneham. They've got good momentum, but just not making it count in terms of the big 6 points each time they go forward, just the one adding up. 3 goals, 5 this quarter, so definitely a lot of scoreboard pressure. Just if a few of them were goals, it'll definitely be a different game. Still on now. Anyone's game to win if St. Peter's can just wrestle back a bit of momentum, find their way forward. They get the ball here, go wide towards Alex Lillicrap, but nicely picked up by Jackson Martin. Handles it over the top, looking for his teammate with that kick. Nicely done is Jonathan Giannini. To Sparkle. Sparkle to the danger zone inside the 50. Big pack forming. Can they find a mark? They have.
No,
it's going to be a free kick, pushing the back. There was 3 of them there, and they kind of didn't really have to probably do that, but it is pushing the back. So St. Peter's, if they can make the most of this, but that kick to no one in particular, and it's going to be turned over. Kelly now kicked a few of his own. Now turns into an assist machine into the pocket. Nicely done, and good mark there by the Payneham attacker, and yeah, nicely kicked by Kelly.
I think it's Chris Stanzig again.
Yep, Chris Stanzig. He's got one earlier in this quarter. We saw him miss just earlier as well.
Kelly did well there just to find the target as well.
Yeah, for sure. About 30 metres out. Bit of an angle. Deliberate kick. Again, drifts wide. Can they mark it on the line?
In the square.
They have.
That's a mark in the square. Is it, or is it?
It's in the square, but of the just on the behind side of the goals. But still a mark right on the line. Saved it from going through for a point, and now they're going to have a shot. Of course, a very tight angle, but they're going to have to do a bit of a check side or just snap it around. He was confident, and why not? What a goal!
That was well done. Is it Wagner?
Wagner with that one, yeah, I think so. So a very good goal from him. Brings his 21st goal of the season. The top goal kicker for Payneham. The other one missing for St. Peter's, I just noticed, is Michaels. He's not out there today. He's their top goal scorer with also 20 goals.
Yeah, they seem to be a bit down in personnel today.
A bit down in personnel. No Allen, no Vodos, no Michaels, but they've performed well so far, I'd say, considering all of that, and had the lead at half time. They're finding themselves 19 points now with 22 minutes to go, so probably would want to get another goal before 3/4 time just to kind of change the thinking of the 3/4 time break and really push in that last quarter, find a way back into this one. But Payneham do have the momentum. They go forward again. Nice mark taken just on the edge of the 50 as they look to progress forward. We'll see if they can find a mark. A few players making runs for him.
Wagner again,
Wagner again, yeah, just outside 50. Looks like he's going to go back and kick it. He's confident with this one. You see about 10 players on the goals line. Really huddled up trying to stop this ball, thinking it's going to fall short, but Wagner leaves no doubt with that kick straight over the top of the umpire's head and cleared the distance easily. That's his second in a few minutes, and Wagner just really showing up here, and when all the others were missing around him, he said, I'm the top goal kicker for a reason, I'll show you why, and very nice goal from him there.
He's just gone bang bang, as have Payneham in this quarter. 5 goals, 5 in this quarter, which is more than they had kicked in the entire game to half time. So it's like they've kind of gone in at half time, flicked a switch and said, hang on, we're 4th on the ladder, Spock is 10th. What the heck are we doing here? It's time to switch on, and they've started to play like a team that is 4th on the ladder and wants to keep moving forward.
Wagner, their best and fairest winner from last year as well when they got promoted to Div 1, so very handy player for them.
That makes sense as McGill gets the clearing kick. He's been very strong, I think, today for Spock in what's turned out to be a little bit of a rough quarter. The mark there was taken by Nye. Spock wanted to free the other way, but that just looked like a nice clean mark to Matty Nye for me. And they just really got themselves on top of this game as well. Oh, Bedford tries to come in from the side, make something special happen, but it's now with Spence. It's a nice kick over the top. I'm enjoying what Spence has been doing this afternoon. We obviously have to keep an eye on what's going on here for our Best on Ground award. Get those Archie thongs, of course. Spot coming back inside 50. Got Montgomery there. Also got Higgins lurking around. Just can't keep it in. And I just did not feel the desperation there from Spot to just hold it in and try and score then. It was just a little bit little bit of a drop there in their energy, I think, Jad.
Yeah, he could have probably sprinted a bit harder to get to that one.
Just needed a little bit more.
They're happy to concede and take the final throw in.
Final push as they keep going now, trying to lock it in. Spock. Scrimgeour was in there, just trying to stop it. We've got Allen as well. Umpire's circling. I don't think the ball's coming out, and yet it is through Giannini. Sends it long. Oh, that's a great wrap-up tackle from Payneham. Couldn't quite see who got that one. I think it was Kristen Chig. He's had a good last 15 or so minutes as Kelly comes in a little bit late from the ruck there. Running it out this time was Dwyer for Spock. Kick goes long, Montgomery's there, but Dodson's right on his tail.
Oh.
And we get a one-on in the square here.
Oh.
And just missed the pressure. So we had Higgins there, all the run, and was just run down from behind. And I think that's the desperation I'm looking for, and that's all with Payneham at the moment. That could have easily just been a walk-through goal to James Higgins, but Payneham said, nah, not happening. And it would just be the single point to Spock.
Yeah, you're right. It's about to be a run-in goal, and then out of nowhere the defence desperately running back, and then a very nice tackle there just to put the pressure on so he couldn't get that one. The ball down this side of the wing, this side of the field. Love to see that. Over the top, just couldn't take the mark. Was the St. Peter's player there. Looked to go forward through Bedford. Strong bump by Allen to keep his footing. The kick though, just to no one in particular, up high. Good luck marking that one. It comes back down now. George is there with a nice tap, and Bedford again getting involved. Snapped away towards the attack. Looking for it is Montgomery. A few others helping him out there in the Higgins. Trying to get the ball free, but nicely done there. Spence again involved, helping out in defence. Nicely done there as they bring it out through. Dodson, big tackle.
Oh, I thought it might have been a trip.
And that's holding the ball correct. It could have been probably a trippy. Desperately, that's what you wanted, the desperation there.
It is. So
it could have easily just let him get the big clearance away from the key defender, but instead running back was Bedford to tackle, and he's going to have a shot on goal himself.
And we've seen him do that a few times. He did one on this side of the 50. Right. It was in the last quarter, so I've seen him.
After the siren as well for Ty Bedford. Represented South Australia under 18s in 2017. 3 years with Sturt, 1 with East Perth. Played 4 games for Spock last season despite being on Sturt's list. So this year decided to make the permanent move over, and he's been very good for them. Definitely knows how to find the goals as well. Knows how to kick a bag. Bedford now coming in after the siren to the goal square. Will it make the distance? Punched over for a behind, so just could not make the distance unfortunately for him, and the rush behind coming through means that the margin is only down by that 1 point. It's going to be 4-7, 31 plays 8-7, 55 as we go into our 3/4 time break. And yeah, the momentum all with Payneham as we go into the 3rd quarter time huddles. We'll come back after the break with a big 4th quarter here with the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Dartfish. Big 4th quarter of footy coming up for the context of finals and the relegation in Adelaide Footy League with me and Beck here as we go into the break. my mistake out from the start. Yeah, Broadview?
Alright, we are back for the final quarter between St. Peter's and Payneham, and after an absolutely huge quarter, putting on 5 goals, 5, Payneham well and truly regained control of this game. 8-7-55 to Spock, 4-7-31. Who are probably going to be looking for some answers here in this final quarter. I'm Beck Northcott. We've got Jad here by my side. We're doing a little bit of a round the grounds. We're doing a little bit of everything at the moment. What do you got for me, Jad?
Yeah, so quickly looking around the grounds, Glenunga beating Kitchigally 96-41. Port District beating Prince Alfred 59-27. And a bit of a shock so far, but Shock are winning, but only by 8 points. So Brighton Bombers 22 and Shock 30. Very low scoring game there.
There is, and I also had a look at Broadview. They got a nice 2-goal lead over Golden Grove.
Back underway live inside the forward line now. Looking to get the first goal of the game. It's going to be wrapped up for a bit of a stoppage situation, but yeah, it's a big lead that Spock have got in the context of this match. As they run in now into forward line, it's going to be Spence. From that stoppage situation, finding a little bit of room, collecting the ball nicely and running into an open goal. They would have wanted it won't be happy with that one, the coach Michael Leary just leaving one of the most dangerous players free in the stoppage just to run in and collect the ball. See the Spock players a little bit hands on hips after that one.
Now we were talking in the break about how we've had our eye on Spence. You know, we thought he's been having a good game. We'd see what happens in the last quarter. Do you think he was listening in to us? Because straight away he's just popped up and said, well, how good am I playing? Yeah,
we were saying if he has one more big quarter, it would be hard not to get him as the best player for the Archie Songs. And first minute scores a goal was a handy way to prove his point.
I think obviously he's looking for a new pair of shoes.
I mean, it's not really thongs weather, so people do laugh when we give it to them.
It'll be thongs weather, I think, if your feet are that filthy.
Exactly, true.
Putting them inside any shoes.
The best thongs on the market, Archie thongs. They're very high quality shoes. They last from now to summer easily, so definitely be worth the win.
If they get dirty, you can just hose them off.
I like to say
win-win.
Archie thongs the best prize in footy, I like to say.
It is. Now that is a nice mark to Hodges. It is just all Payneham at the moment. The way that this game has shifted from the first half, I don't know if you can feel it on the stream, but here at the ground it's honestly just been a huge, complete shift in how this game's been played. And probably, although we said these teams are probably pretty evenly matched and anyone could win, I think this is just the class of Payneham really coming through here. Yeah,
always a hard place to come, an away game. Doesn't matter what they are on the ladder, come here and put on a really professional performance. Find yourself down early, find a way back into it. Still time on the clock, 30 points of margin. It's going to be hard to come back from, but you never know. So we're still not counting out Spock entirely, I'd say, well, in my opinion anyway. But it is going to be very tricky to come back from here after having used a lot of energy to find the lead. Now find themselves 30 points down. Hodges into the forward line. Can they find a big mark here? Looking to get it away is Darcy Lillycrap, but not as far as he would have hoped. Ball still in defence. Now the big clearance comes. Bit of a 2-on-1 in the wing. Bedford comes to help his teammate, does well to sideswipe the player on the mark there and just goes down the wing. It's going to be over for last possession rule right in front of the bench there.
And just, we saw those moves there from Bedford, and then it ended up he had no one really to kick to and just had to pop it into the space. Ended up in a stoppage, which they're going to have to move it more efficiently than that if they want to bring back this 30-point deficit.
Yeah, it's blown up to 30 points quite quickly also. It seemed like it was 11 points for a while.
That was a bit of a rugby throw there from Alan.
Bit of a rugby throw. I've been watching the State of Origin.
Yes.
As they look to switch the plays now through Jonathan Giannini. Passes it off to his brother Anthony. And now they go into the danger zone. Bit of a one-on-one situation, but it's going to be a mark from the St. Peter's defence, so nice job there.
Yeah, it's Tom Facey there, and
he's been good.
If we looked at his Dartfish stats for today, I'd say he'd be one of the leaders of marks on the ground. Of course, Dartfish bringing us here to the game today, where you can get all of your stats about how you've been playing. If you want to tell everyone how many marks, how many possessions you've been having, well, you can back yourself up with some Dartfish stats all day, every day. Now, we've ascended the ground all the way to Spock's 50.
Yeah, good run there by the Spock player. I wasn't exactly sure who it was, but took 2 really good bounces and
in this weather, very brave to take a bounce.
Yeah, very good, and he had a lot of pace on him, so if you can use that, it'll be handy.
Well, it might be a little bit late for that kind of pace, the Spock, but maybe they can make this margin a little bit more respectable as they finish this one off here. I'd expect Payneham to just go in and get the job done from this point. Ball's wrapped up again. Just really enjoys that sort of far deep pocket today, with Bedford lurking around. Spence with the quick kick out, probably go out of bounds, but just says a lot to how Spence is somehow always able to get first hands to it and have enough time to get that quick kick out. And you know, if that stays in, gives him a bit of a run, anything could have happened there. Yeah,
for sure, and he's been definitely getting himself down the dirty as well with long sleeves there, and one side of long sleeve is black now and one's white, so definitely all the mud all over it. Yeah, that's it. Just
there
making him
again.
I'd like to see his Dartfish stats at the end of the match.
Oh, I'll be looking forward to looking him up.
And he's been good as well in the third quarter, especially was Kritsansig. Going forward now, back to Spence, back to Kritsansig, so the 2 players combining.
He's having a day out now.
There's Kritsansig there, so it would have been someone else earlier, but he still gets his hands onto it. Chips it forward to Anthony Giannini. Few players making runs for him, instead he goes longer. A nice run there by Kelly. He's had 2 goals of his own and really playing a bit like a forward line. This bit of a good move there by Jeremy Cheney, the coach. Saw him in the ruck a lot early on. Now he's played forward the second half and has really gave him another option up forward.
Yeah, no, I thought he was actually, you know, doing quite well in the ruck against, you know, obviously the more experienced Jordan Lockwood, but just changed up his role a bit here, spending his off time up forward, and it's worked an absolute treat. Just masterstroke there from Mr. Cheney.
Kelly coming in now, about 35 metres out. Kick looks good. Will it make the distance? Touched. It is over the line. I wasn't sure if he maybe got a touch after a pass, but the umpire right there on the spot says it was touched on the line. It's going to be just a behind for Kelly on this occasion. Has already 2 goals of his own, so nearly out of the third, but not quite. Looking to move it out of there. Finding a mark as they chip it wide. Plays on quickly, another chip forward. Finding targets, but not really making too much distance up with these chip kicks. Finds Malachi Carruthers. Chips it again forward. There's a big pack of players there, however, and it does go the other way, turns it over, and a big tackle means it's going to be a stoppage situation.
Well, we're back in the centre of the ground. Luckily, out of that mud pit. You wouldn't know it though, almost every player's covered in it by now. Bit of push and shove down in the forward line to no advantage of either. Higgins trying to get involved. Spock, they just need a goal here. They have been unfortunately down a player since the first quarter in Ben McGill, who we haven't seen since then. I think that definitely does make a difference.
That's a good mark.
Nice little one-hander there. Is that Montgomery? Been a fan of the way he's been presenting, if it is. Just takes a nice little one-hander there. No, it's not Montgomery, it's Dwyer. All these, you know, tall units with the same looking hair. I don't know who they are, but anyway, it's Dwyer this time, and he's absolutely sprayed that, which is not what Spock needed, coming off a 1-goal quarter last quarter.
Took a nice mark, couldn't finish off though.
Not ideal. And you just feel everything is going the way of Payneham at the moment. They're really just going to finish this one off here as Bedford comes through with an intercept. He's well and truly played on. Handballs over the top to Allen, back to Bedford. kick's going to go really where it started, which was to the right. So
I think he should have had a shot earlier before he passed it off. It was going to be a big kick, but he had all the momentum. And then when he got it back the second time, he was more of a tighter angle and had to stutter step a little bit to receive the handball. So yeah, it didn't really favour him for that kick. They've done well, right? They've done better. St. Peter's to lock themselves in their own forward line now. This time though, they look like getting out the back is Payneham through some chips kicks, finding a target towards Spence again. Playing from the back this time, but still got a hand to it. He gets the ball nonetheless. Bit of a magnet today. Has a shot towards goal. A bit of a half pass, half shot, but goes a bit too far and bounces for a behind. Kelly was there running after it, but just couldn't get to the end of that. It's going to be another behind on the way of Payneham, just extending their lead again. So about 10 minutes played here in the fourth quarter. Thanks to Dartfish. Over the top, just couldn't take it, was Jackson Martin. Called the free kick though. To Woolsden. Woolsden's kick just bounces in front of his teammates, so he had to slide, and even with the slide didn't have enough room to get the mark. But they do get the ball forward nonetheless. Nearly takes a very nice mark. It's going to be paid either a mark or a free kick there, but plays on quickly with a handball backwards. His teammate has to run really wide to Malachi Carruthers, so probably not the best choice in that handball there. They do get the ball forward, however, really tight angle and goes out down the full, so he didn't have much room to move in. Yeah, the handball was a bit strange to Malachi Carruthers, really made him run wide, and then once he got wide, defence done well just to kind of corner him in that pocket and had to go back on himself. Just not quite the fluid attacking play that Payneham have had since the half time do St. Peter's have, and that's why they probably find themselves a bit behind.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of the energy's dropped out of this game after that third quarter, really dominated by Payneham. I think it's kind of got Spock down a little bit, and they were, very much in the game. They were leading at quarter time, half time, and Payneham came out in absolute blaze of glory, and I think Spock had just dropped their heads a little bit. They didn't have really anything to throw back at Payneham once they got into that gear, and I think we've seen this from Spock a few times. They've been in games and just got run over.
Yeah, for sure. They're good at being not too much of a loss. Like, they're always up there, but just finishing off the job is going to be tricky, especially when you're near the bottom and running out of steam. A few of their key players are out. We talked about that, but now Payneham have a nice snap. It's going to go towards a goal, but bouncing, and couldn't stop it bouncing in for a behind.
Went all the way across.
St. Peter's last week, of course, they lost only by 30 points to Sacred Heart, which are sitting in second. So on paper it's a good effort, but then you come here home against a team like Payneham or Hungary just to keep their spot in the finals. Missing players like we mentioned, Allen, Rodos, as well as their top goal scorer, Michaels, and losing Ben McGill early is never handy. Those four very big players for them. So they've had a good effort to stay in this one, but yeah, you're right. They're evenly matched for a quite long period of time, but just struggle to get over the top and find the W's.
Yeah, and you can just feel that they've really dropped off here. We talked about in the first half where they had a lot more scoring opportunities and just didn't quite put them through.
Yeah.
They could have at least made things, I think, a bit harder for Payneham. I think Payneham was still always going to come through with this run over the top quiet moment, but they could have made it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, the scoreboard pressure is, once that comes, it's very hard to reverse it, and you're right, just a bit more scoreboard pressure early when they had those chances. Yeah, it would have been a very handy one for them.
Playing on the far side of the oval again. Still a few spectators out there. We've been actually quite lucky that the rain has stayed away while we've been playing. A lot of rain where I was this morning, so I was a bit worried about how this would go. Also, if our little tent we've got here would hold up, but we're all still nice and dry. Ball just trickles around the back of the pack. A little bit of run here from Spock. Allen trying to come through. Just missed the ball, but now the ball's up long and high. Few options trying to come through, no mark taken. Ended up in a little bit of a stacks on, that's not coming out. Umpire will have it. So Still Payneham here. 31-point lead. Worked really hard to get themselves back in this game in the third quarter. It's just been all Payneham since then as McGill's wrapped up. Battled really hard, earned the free for that one. I think it was in the back. McGill loads it up, kicks low and strong, got into the hands of his teammate there, and we've got a nice forward entry looming. No mark was able to be taken. Quick one off the boot, and look who's there. It's Spence, of course, ready to repel it. Still just involved in almost every single contest somehow, Jed Spence. I don't know how he gets there, where he came from, or how, but he just seems to get there, Jack.
Yeah, he's a very good runner, you can tell, and got a good engine on him, so happy to run forward to help get goal or assist the goal, happy to help out in defence if needed, so just runs all day really, and yeah, good engine and good footy IQ to know where the ball's going to end up. Goes over for a boundary from and right in front of the grandstand there. Good crowd, as you mentioned. We've been lucky with no rain, so they've stuck around. Good amount of away fans as well. Quite a few Payneham fans here.
A lot of Payneham representation
come
here
out
for
to
sure.
Support their team as they push for those final spots. Of course, coming into the business end of the season now in the Adelaide Footy League. Takes the Dartfish in the defence now. Big kick away, just clearing it from that danger zone towards Chris Danzig. He does well to kind of engage in the physical action but not give away a free kick. The ball's still going forward. He was a little bit pushed off it, but fairly, so it's going to be gone the other way now. St. Peter's nicely picked up there. Uses his strength and his pace forward. Have a shot. Looks like it's going through. It is. What a goal.
A late one.
Very nice goal there. He picked it up nicely off the ground in these conditions. Fended off a tackle. Used a little bit of his pace just to burst away from the pack and finish nicely. I don't know who exactly that was.
No, me either.
It was a very nice, good goal nonetheless. We'll check it out on the stream after. But yeah, good work by him. You know, in the context of this match, it's probably not going to contribute to a victory here, but a nice personal goal for him, and why not? What a finish.
Well, and I think they kind of just needed something as we creep towards the end of this game. We're hitting the 17-minute mark here, and well and truly stitched up by Payneham, but I think, yeah, Spock probably want to get a little bit of respectability back into this game. They've just been run over here late. Spence got the clearing kick, was looking for Jackson Martin. Feeling a little bit of lift from the Spock defence. This is a bit more like it. Here they go again, trying to go forward. St. Peter's, nice defensive mark though. Payneham players eye on the ball. Straight away, go wide. Got options down the line. Let those ones pass him by. Going to get called to play on now, so end up going long down the line anyway. Kelly's there, but Lockwood comes through with the spoil. Bit of a lob of a kick, manages to stay in. Kristen Chig, sorry. No, I'm just stumbling. I'm just stumbling over that one there. Right. We're late in the game here. I'm getting fatigued. Umpire throws it back up. Lockwood Kelly. Nice little left foot jab enters the 50. Dancing all around here is Nunn. Just resting up forward. Hodges. Big bomb in. Almost went straight into the hands of Davidson. Handballs around inside 50. Spock are trying their best here to just get it out. McGill, he's battled hard all day. It's ended up being the only McGill on the ground. Kick there from Dwyer was just repelled. Still got a little bit of time to get rid of it. There's Dwyer again. He's under absolute siege. Just absolutely coming at them, Payneham from everywhere. Just got to have a little bit of a lift here, Spock. Back into the middle, into Allen. Just slipped past him in the end. Great footwork here from all the Payneham individuals. Giannini just dribbles it in. Spencer's all on his own. Can he get another one? He's still on his own. He's got plenty of time. Instead, It hits up Nunn, and we'd expect Nunn to just put this one straight through. And Spence, well, he's probably deserved a little bit more attention, I think, from the opposition, because he just seemed to get into time and space everywhere he goes, Jad.
Yeah, very nicely called. And yeah, Nunn loves to pop up for a goal, so he'll want to kick this one.
Yeah, just taking his place in the forward line as we wrap up this game here at Caterer Oval, about to hit 19.5 minutes. Leaders, of course, very much with Payneham, but this will be a nice one to get here for Nunn. It's just going to drop short, no mark taken in the square, but Giannini gets a quick handball out. Rahui dances around them all. Rahui, he puts it through, and that is absolute magic from Taj Rahui. He sold about 7 bags of candy, danced around the lot, and puts it through. And that's, maybe we could put that through for a goal of the week.
I'm already writing it down,
because that was a beautiful moment. That's going to show up in the highlights for sure. Rahui, that's his second of the game. He famously kicked one on half-time, which if I was him, I'd be claiming that's what got it all started for Payneham, you know, that goal on half-time, because after that, Payneham have not looked back. But that is a beautiful moment from Rahui, and really backed up well by Giannini. Got that quick handball out, and they're just all working so well together in that forward line.
Yeah, I love that goal. We'll definitely send that one off to get featured on the best goal of the week.
Put it in there, Hugo, put it in.
Yeah, we'll get Hugo to put it in, of course, the editor of all the goals and things like that. But yeah, very nicely done. I love how his teammates were calling for it. He's like, ignore them all, sold a bit of candy, run around his opponent, kicked a beautiful snap goal, and yeah, finished nicely. And what a highlight to end off a very good performance here for Payneham. Bit of a cherry on top of the cake with this win coming, the 2 points going the way of Payneham with not too much time left in this quarter. But yeah, you're right, Rahui's goal at half-time siren brought the margin from 10 points to 4, and since then never looked back. And they once they hit the lead, Payneham, they stuck with it and kept working to extend it, as we see the lead now at that good margin now of 41 points.
Yes.
So a bit of a blowout as it gets late into this fourth quarter, but bit of good game there. Spence again looking inbound, good kicks across time 6. Them two might be combining in the votes, I imagine, as they look to go forward once again. Thought about playing on, but took a second just to go back and find a bit of room. Goes wider towards Sparkle. Sparkle looking inbound. Kicks it now to a bit of a 2-on-1 situation, so probably not the best kick. Had a few different options there and probably went to the wrong one, but it is Carruthers who kicks it wide now. Nice punch over the top by Hodge, just leaving it out.
A great spoil.
And a tackle coming over the line. It's going to be a ball up instead just before they cross the line. Good leadership there by Mate there. Just
there was an interesting tap there with, you know, I think it's Hodges, backing up, real reversing into Lockwood, backing up the truck.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a 50-50 rock contest, so they just left it like that. But
definitely play on.
But you see now Hodges in the rock, so Kelly in the forward line again, worked for them in the second half. Definitely been a reason they progressed. Spence again getting involved, but it's going to be the other way now. Through Charlie Allen, over the top towards the boundary line, towards the benches there. Quick kick to Wagner. Wagner inbound, and Nunn just drifts it forward, finds a mark inside the forward line like he does so often, and going to use all the 30 seconds here, go back and have a shot from about 45 metres.
Well, he might as well. This might take us almost to the siren, I think. We haven't seen as many goals this quarter.
Yeah, that's right. 2 goals to Payneham this quarter and just the one to Spock, so 3 goals in total means probably not too much time on. We've played nearly 24 minutes in this one. Matty Nunn thought about passing it, but then he said to his teammate Rahui, probably will get caught with the siren, so he went back to kick himself. But in the end, the distance was not, and the accuracy both were not exactly how I would have hoped, and it just drifts out wide for a last possession rule is they look for an inside 50 now to repeat inside 50 to Wagner. Wagner has to pick it off the ground, spins around, kick to no one in particular, just over the fingertips of George, but nicely marked there by Bedford, who hands it off to Carruthers. But again, Payneham, even late, you got this game wrapped up, still showing good pressure, still getting those turnovers in crucial situations and very dangerous parts of the ground.
They just need a bit more accountability here, Spock. I've just been watching Nunn here. He's been on his own inside 50 for about 30 to 40 seconds. He's one of the best players on this Payneham team. You've got to push someone back there. You've got to get someone back there. You just can't leave him on his own.
There he is again by himself.
He's still there.
They do go in that direction, and you're right. He's by himself. Lockwood was probably the closest player, and he's about 20 metres off. And for a big ruckman, he's not going to.
Opponent.
Yeah,
exactly. He's not playing ruck.
Exactly, yeah. And even if Lockwood tried to get anywhere, he was too far away to close the distance fast enough. So yeah, you're right. Like the direct opponent of his went a bit missing and results in a non-shot at goal late in this game.
Oh, and Spence.
Pass it off to Spence. And Spence now can try and have a shot from about
and he's
40.
received some advice there from Matty Nunn saying, well, you'd better kick this one now because you've been demanding it.
He's calling for it. We saw Nunn have the shot earlier. They didn't make the distance from a similar amount. So he's like, well, you think you can make the distance?
He's almost going to get heckled by his own teammate here.
Bit of friendly banter, I'd say, instead of heckling. This time with the left foot. Spence makes the distance, but to the left, and having a bit of laugh about that one is Nunn. Just saying,
I think they're lucky they can have a little bit of a laugh about it. They got a nice buffer. They're not really too worried about the score anymore.
Yeah, they can afford to have a bit of a laugh out there, and why not?
No,
footy's
they've earned the right.
Footy's serious, and 90% of the footy is very serious, especially at this level. So when you have the opportunity to have a bit of fun out there, why not? What people get into footy for in the first place, a bit of fun, and
that's it.
As we count down the seconds here left in this fourth quarter, and there's the siren, so
there we go.
It's going to be wrapped up here for this match in terms of St. Peter's versus Payneham here at Payneham Oval. Round 13 goes the way of Payneham with important 2 points for them against a Spock team that looked good early, definitely missing some of their key players, not just from the start but an injury early to Ben McGill, and we're in front at half time, so to give them credit, they were good early and could have been in front by more, but in the end it is Payneham who were too good, and a big third quarter summed up their day to come out here and run on top and to get the victory by 42 points.
Yeah, and they just really needed to come out here and get it done. As we said, they're in the top 5, but I think they probably need to convince a few more people that they belong there. Before this game, 6 wins, 6 losses, really just on that 50-50 split. So now they go to 7 and 6. You always want to be on more wins than losses. So I think that ticks them over, sitting on those few more wins there. And well, St. Peter's, unfortunately, just another day at the office for them. They are sitting in 10th, and this will keep them there well and truly. I think they put in a really good effort in the first half. As we talked about a lot during the game, they probably could have scored a few more goals, put on a little bit more pressure on Payneham, because as soon as Payneham turned it on, there was absolutely no going back. They were down by 4 points at half time, and after that I think it was just all Spock chasing Payneham, because they just came out and absolutely blasted them away, Jack.
Yeah, exactly right. It's a bit of a game of two halves, but it was very even at half time, and then once they hit the lead, Payneham never really looked back, as you mentioned. A few of the different goal scorers, Spence with 2, Kelly, the ruckman, drifted forward and got 2 of his own. Wagner as well with 2, always a consistent goal scorer for them. As for St. Peter's, 2 goals to Nick McGill was the only one that got in the doubles there, but just looking at some of the other stats here, so 2 goals to 7 since half time.
Yeah,
really sums it up. A big goals there, as well as kicking truly, and even some behinds Payneham got. They could have probably had a little bit more of a lead, but no, it was good effort all around. 42 points, the winners here, thanks to Dartfish. We will be back next week with Div 1 action, of course. Every Div 1 game live streamed on Filming Footy, thanks to Dartfish, and thanks to all our other sponsors, of course. So check them all out, and If you're near one of the games, come down and watch. If you can't make it, we're always here with commentators on every game. It's live streamed on Filming Footy. We'll be back with all the action next week, but a good victory here for Payneham. They'll be happy with that one. We'll go give the Archie songs to the best players. Check out Between the Posts for our 3-2-1 and have a good evening.